Where last we left our sparks, Essa and Edgar had been spectacularly failing to sneak into the mansion of Lord Richmond. Despite being spotted by Richmond's guards, Edgar managed to draw their attention, giving Essa the chance to hide. Essa made his way over to the entrance of the mansion, only to discover that Spade, one of the adventurers hired by Richmond, was on guard in the mansion. Because of Essa's high stealth roll, Spade walked right by him to berate the guards for losing the pair of vandals. Not to take the insult lying down, the guards spat back insults at them for being human. Spade responded with a quick slash of their poisoned nails to the guard. One of the other guards took his wounded companion to an apothecary, and Spade was ushered upstairs by the wizard Diamond. With no guards remaining, Essa took this opportunity to sneak into the basement of the manor. After losing his pursuers, Edgar regrouped with T, Toros and Oran. They decided to wait outside of the manor for Essa to return with the poison. In the basement, Essa found the laboratory with a cauldron filled with a viscous green liquid. Just as he reached for the cauldron, a dagger came out of nowhere and dealt an incredible amount of damage. Although Spade had knocked Essa unconscious, he managed to release his ghostly wail. Hearing the wail, Edgar and Toros rushed in, no longer caring for the stealthy approach. Seeing the severity of the moment, Edgar decided to transform into a sylvan form. But he was not the only to change. Toros decided to unveil his fiendish form. Towering wings, hooves, blue flame, and choking smoke billowing from his maw. In this chaos of magic and flame, Diamond arrives to assist Spade. Seeing the dire situation Spade was in, he tried to negotiate with Edgar. He offered to let the party leave with Essa if they abandoned their mission. But Edgar refused, knowing they still needed to collect a sample of the poison. As the fighting continued, it became clear that the party would soon overwhelm Spade and Diamond. Seeing this, Diamond fled from the basement, and Spade managed to disappear with the aid of a smoke bomb. While waiting outside, T receives a sending spell from Lady Ward, warning that the remaining cards were on their way. Hearing this, Oberon barged into the manor to help his comrades. Seeing Diamond, he immediately engaged himself in combat. Meanwhile, T sat on a bench across the street, hiding her face in wounds ample of fur. She was torn between her desire to help her friends and knowing that if Richmond learned of her involvement, she would only further complicate things. Suddenly, in response to a whistle from Oberon, Woon charged into the mansion to help his master. Needing to be of some use and seeing that Woon had blocked all view of her, T cast haste on him, providing the last push necessary to incapacitate Diamond. Despite failing to find Spade, Edgar and Toros managed to collect the notes and poison from Richmond's lab. While looking around the lab, Edgar and Toros also found a secret door and surmised that Spade had used the door to escape. After bringing Essa back with some lay on hands, the boys decided not to follow Spade down the strange door. The party had accomplished their mission and taken Diamond as a hostage in case the cards came looking for them. Then they fled to the safety of Lady Ward's estate. Taking reprieve in the vacant home of Lady Ward, they had some time to recuperate and reflect on the night. Oberon stripped Diamond of his arcane focus, magic cloak, magical bracers, and a ring, appearing like a wedding band with some magical properties. Thinking as clear as she could, T dispelled the locate creature spell imbued in the piece. Edgar and Toros got to talk about their beastly forms. For the first time, Toros opened up to someone about being a new monster in the world, and offered Edgar an ear to listen if he needs it. Meanwhile, Oberon pulled T aside to apologise for his earlier insult. She replied by answering the question that he'd been too afraid to ask, where he fits in this ramshackle party. He's the tactician, yes, but he's also the harsh voice of reason in the party of bleeding hearts. Issa takes some time to thank and apologise to Toros and Edgar for endangering them by running alone. The two reminded him that this is a team, and they all have roles to play. Just as the sparks have a moment to breathe, the cards barge in, having incapacitated the guards after following the locate creature spell until it dispelled, figuring out the rest. Confronted with spade, club and heart, the crew immediately prepare for confrontation. Spade takes the first move, demanding a return to their companion Diamond. Club, the Goliath, and Tauros exchange glowers at Heart. The dwarf breaks the tension. She takes the diplomacy route, offering a trade. The cards will leave Aoibhen forever, if the sparks return Diamond to them. Oberon found this arrangement shallow. Issa added that he wants the cards to testify against the Richmond when they take him to court. Heart immediately rejected the idea, knowing the social suicide that would be for her group. They would never be hired again. She offers an exchange knowledge that they have against the Lord for Diamond's return. Unable to hold herself back, T asks for what they know about the Windrot poison, aiming her question at the poisoner themselves, Spade. She inquired about Chevra's health and if she could be saved, collapsing in on herself in relief upon finding out that Chevra's dwarven constitution will be the only reason that she will live. The poison must be administered for 1 to 2 months continuously, and Chevra had been ill for 1.5. Curious, Edgar inquired how many of them were involved in the poisoning. Spade took full responsibility for the deed, as a glimmer of shame painted their face. As a compromise for their willingness, Oberon offered them a promise of new employment should they testify, in the form of the Richmond heir. Hart accepted this deal on one condition, that she be the only one to testify, fearing for the safety of her dear party. As a parting gift and a show of good faith, the cards handed over a final bargaining chip, a hand-copied journal in Gul of Richmond's crimes and personal affairs. Receiving this, Oberon retrieved the body of Diamond, Tauros giving him a pool of hit points, so he woke up to find his party saving him. The sparks, now ready for their trial, Edgar asks a favour of Issa. Talk to Spade. Make them see that they can do their work and do it without compromising on what they know is right. Edgar asked this of Issa as he could see the reflection of Issa in Spade, knowing that the only one they would listen to would be him. As the night drew to a close, Lady Ward and Mara walked in to find the party, a bedraggled, tired mess after the night, some more eager than others to share their mixed success with her ladyship. This ends our story, friends. The Sparks have found their hill to fight on. Will they die? Their fates are yet theirs to build. I see futures for them in defeat, shame, and triumph in kind. Find out next time on Dice Age.